YouTube, good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Chase, we are live, my guy. We are live. It is Monday, finally. Here we go. Let's jump right into that watch list. No time to waste. Let's get it going, man. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's copy and paste the watch list over to the YouTube stream, and we'll be good to rock and roll. So I'll post it to the alert section in the Discord as well, so I don't forget. There we go. For those of you coming in on YouTube, guys, hit that thumbs up button. We got a very active pre-market today. As mentioned, today was my first day back watching a pre-market. Didn't take any trades, but I was impressed with what we saw, especially in PLRX. I mean, this one here, absolutely impressive indeed. Very impressive indeed. Did really well. You know, I came in at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and, you know, right around that time, this thing started exploding over key levels. So we'll go through the watch list. We'll do it in alphabetical order. So we'll start off with IINN, which is also moving up right now. And, you know, talking about the daily chart, let's see, what are we on? Dual screen, split screen? Let's go, okay, we'll stay on single screen for now. Let's take a look at IINN right here, right? Daily chart, right? We want to do our analysis. We want to have a big daily chart so everyone can see what's going on with these stocks. Here we go. We're breaking over the resistance that we had at the 200 EMA at 261. So as this is dipping down right here, it must hold. It must hold 261, if not to the depths. So can IINN hold 261 right here, right now? We had 65 as the high of this range. Right now we have a high of 79, which is pretty good. So I want to see this thing continuing to push here. And when we go left and up, we'll see that there's room to go to possibly, you know, all the way to 318, right? We can get up to 318, and then we get into some higher volume candles at 354, which I believe we might still have mapped out here. Let's see. Yeah, we have 318 and 354 already backed out from previous days when this one was making a move. So IINN, once again, we want to see this thing. It's getting rejected here at 80, it looks like. Maybe some short sellers covering. But once again, it has to hold this blue line at 61. And we see how well it's respecting 61 to this point. It's really holding that level at the 200 EMA. I think pre-market is going to be good, man. I'm not going to rush it, though. I'm going to take my time and make sure that, you know, everything is translating accordingly for the trades at the lows. I will not be scalping pre-market. I wouldn't even dare. I don't think it'll be worth it, right? So yeah, IINN is looking good. For a bit of the technicals, right now we are up 17%. There is news with 1.3 million shares of volume. Once again, daily levels looking pretty good for that move to the upside. And there is 6 million shares outstanding. So we know that float is on the lighter side of things. So that's pretty good for IINN. Moving on to stock number 2. GROV. This one from a few days ago. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm not going to include it on the watch list. I'll keep it up here. Maybe it does something, but I don't really have any intentions on trading this one. It would really have to gain a lot of volume at tight spreads, but it's on there as one that I had from a few days ago, from Friday, right? PLRX, moving on to the watch list. This one will be my main watch, I believe. It's up 71%, 11.5 million shares of volume, 36 million shares outstanding. PLRX. I mean, just look at this move from 10 to 15, $5.30 a share. You know, it's pretty impressive. So when we look at the daily chart, right? Let's look at the daily chart. Like, where's this thing headed? We broke over the 200 EMA, which is a good sign. We had this bit of a wedge pattern that we broke over to start to move, which I like to see as well, right? Because we had this area coming up here, and you can see a bit of a flat top was in there, right? We wedged against the level coming up, and then we broke out. So that was pretty good. Nice wedge pattern, you know, almost like a flag. Not as obvious, not as clean, but, you know, we're seeing it in there, right? So breaking out over the resistance, breaking over 945, and absolutely ripping, man. Absolutely ripping. So when we go left and up, where are we headed? That's the key question right now. And so let's see, we're coming into some candles here at 1613, 1595, 1582. So I would say if we can see a strong break of 16, this thing, you know, as it's making new highs right now, if we see a strong break of 16, there might be room up to 1830, $20, and then to the high of this red candle, or at least we probably get to start filling some gap into this red candle, which has a low of 19. So maybe room to 19 before we really start seeing a lot of selling pressure, because there probably will be bag holders on a candle like this, which gapped up and faded hard on about 1.7 million shares, which is not big volume, but still fairly high. All right. So PLRX, room to, let's say, $19 to the bottom of this big red candle here. That's going to be one of the key levels that I map out. And of course, I want to see, let's see, low of 1904. I want to see a clean and strong break of 16, if possible. You know, is today going to be one of those days that the stock is already up this much, but it probably still will go to $20? You know, can we get another $5 a share out of this thing? Is that going to happen today? If it does, you know, we're looking pretty good. So $16, of course, will also be a level. All right, so PLRX, not bad. Once again, it's up 75%, 12 million shares of volume, 36 million shares outstanding. I can double check the float here. PLRX, the float is clocking in at 21 million. So not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. So we have a good watch list today, right? For those of you tuning in on YouTube, take a look at the watch list. Very nice list today. We got IINN, PLRX, SRG, which is continuation, and then we have TBLT, which made us move earlier in pre-market. PLRX will be my main stock on watch. Today it's Monday fun day, so you know I'm looking forward to pushing some share size today. I'm looking forward to being aggressive today if we can see good opportunities. So moving on, we have, and by the way, let's take a look at the 5-minute chart before I do move on. You know, we got highs of 1442, highs of 1490. 1503, 1490 maybe could be an area if we do see a pullback, so I think it'll be good to map that out. 1490, where we had that previous high of day, maybe we do see a pullback to that level. It's possible. We held it once before, and we have highs right now at 74. I don't know if that'll remain the high, but you know we have 7 minutes to the open. But I'll map it out for now. So PLRX, I mean, what a stock, man! What a stock! What a stock! 1524. What a stock! So moving on, SRG, light volume continuation name. This one, you know, we'd want to see volume get in there. It'll have to get back over 11, and then of course 1130 at the pre-market highs. What we would want to see is the first daily candle make the new high on SRG. We're right around the 200 EMA right now. So can the first daily candle make a new high at 1120? That's what we want to see for SRG. And if that does happen today, that'll be good. Moving on, not too much to watch at besides 1120 and 1130, right? 1130 yesterday, Friday's high, 1101 right now. It's a key daily level that I have going back for key pivots. Well, actually, rather the 200 EMA, never mind, the 200 EMA. So we've got to get back over 11, 1120, 1130 for this one to look good. TBLT, last but not least. TBLT is up 34% with 5.5 million shares of volume. Shares outstanding on the lighter side, which is very good. Less than 1 million here I'm seeing. Guys, if you're tuning in on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button early as we're going through the watch list here. We're going to get right into the game plan after going over TBLT. It was mentioned in the Discord that this thing came back down with a lot of selling pressure, but it's still holding up. So that is a sign in itself. Usually when selling pressure is this high, you know, we come back down hard. We didn't. So this thing is holding up for some reason. Maybe somebody's buying up big shares, right? Let's see, a low of 258. So I at least want to keep an eye on it in case it does start to make new highs, right? We got a pivot here at 82. And pre-market highs, of course, are a little bit up at 312. So over 312, you know, what will it be? I have a trend line at 97. Let me see. Looks like it's going back far. Daily chart, 97. It might have been a pre-market levels from June 27th or so. TBLT. Let me go back on my 5-minute chart here. I'll go back to single screen. You see this coming back all the way into these candles here. All right, let's enlarge this. $344, $395, $305. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't see exactly what that trend line. So I'll take it off. That's what I'll do. I'll take it off. But back here on June 24th, we had key levels around 344. We had high of day 395. So this is a stock that could, you know, could get back up to these levels. So when we look at it today, when we zoom out, you know, we're curling back up. So, you know, what will it be today? We're currently at 272. We had highs of 312, but can we get back over those levels and keep pushing, right? So I'll take out the trend line at 97. I'll mark out the pre-market highs, and I think we'll be good to go. This one is over the 200 EMA, which is good. 200 EMA is down there at 53, which I don't want to see us pulling back all the way, you know, to those lows. So when we look at the daily chart, we do have the ABCD. Well, more so like a U-shaped red to green, right? Yeah, more so like a U-shaped red to green, right? So we want to get back up above 18, and then once we get above 18, there's room to 95. I'm gonna mark out 18 with a blue line, and which is essentially the pre-market highs, though, if we look at it. But I put a blue line in here at 18 for TBLT. Let's see, 17, 18, there we go. Wow, there's a 2-minute warning. I guess I've been going a little... Well, I did start the live stream a little on the later side. I was in the Discord earlier for about an hour, right, watching pre-market. But yeah, so here we go. You know, watching on here, TBLT. What will it be? I want to move this line to 32. All right, what will it be today, guys? I feel good. We have a very active pre-market. My main watch will be PLRX, so let's make sure to get everything up and ready. For the opening statements, it's another beautiful day. Looking forward to being aggressive. Looking forward to coming in, trading smart. Yesterday I mentioned a lot about what's up. Yeah, so it's... I'm losing my train of thought. We have 1 minute to go. I mean, you guys know the drill, right? You guys know the drill. There's 45 seconds. Trade smart, trade setups. Small sizing first, and then I want to get aggressive, right? So IINN, I'm going to quickly type in a few stocks here. TBLT, SRG, and I'm good to go. By the way, yesterday during the live stream for the Q&A, right, I mentioned at the lows, I need to be more patient. I need to be a little bit more disciplined. That's pretty big towards my game plan today. So can I start, see some good scalp trades, and then when those trades at the lows do come, I have to be patient and wait for the entry. So trade smart, guys, trade setups, manage risk. Here we go. Time to rock and roll. We got to take a sip of water too because that's tradition. Guys, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button if you're tuning in on YouTube. So we got a high of 1664, but a topping wick. Should be interesting. TBLT is inching up at that pivot level at 82. Could be worth the early trade. TBLT. For those of you in the Discord, how are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are all ready to go. Once again, if you're tuning in on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. DWAC is also in play. We had that one being mentioned a few minutes ago. PLRX, here we go. 64 for that high, and there's 17 just like that. Halt level at 1786. My goodness. Is it going to be one of those days? Wow, that was a losing trade. Wow, this thing is stronger than I would have expected into the open here. That trade was so close. I almost got filled at 40, but wow. We're halted. Just like that. What a start to this day. Wow. So PLRX. It's funny because in pre-market, wrong bet, man. Wrong bet. Isn't it funny? I didn't get any trades in there, but I'll be watching on the resumption. Man. Where's Marcelo, man? Is he in here? Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. So I'll be waiting for resumption. TBLT, maybe over 82. There could be something in there. It's currently 77. IINN pulled back a lot, so I'm not too sure about that one. We're seeing 80, but some slight resistance for TBLT. Wow. There's 79 again. There's 80. If we see 81 with green, I take TBLT here to see what it wants to do over this key pivot. We're getting some higher fills. You see, when you take big sizing, though, it sometimes will happen with this thinkorswim. $86. So TBLT giving a small move here. Resumption time, by the way, is at 36:39. So I only took one trade on PLRX, in with 1,500 shares, and back out flat. I'm in on TBLT at 83, watching for the bounce back. A nice bounce so far there. Watching for 86. That resumption time, once again, 36:39. In on TBLT at 30, at 80 rather, coming out at 70 for a 3-cent loss there. Might be having a hard time. Might be coming back down below the VWAP area. So I'll leave that one alone for now. PLRX, what will it be over here on the resumption? 39 seconds. What was it? 36. Okay, 36.39. So waiting. I honestly, I think I could have gotten some trades over the level of 64. I wasn't watching at it though. It is the first minute to Thinkorswim. You guys know how it goes. Sometimes you got to kind of be careful because, we don't want to be in there and then see lag in the execution. But over 64, we immediately ripped to 17.10, I think. I am prepared here. If I have a losing trade, I know what it means. But I'm looking forward to, of course, seeing good follow through. 1804 for the highs. So 39 seconds, PLRX, watching and waiting. 1904 could be a level of resistance, so I want to be careful there. 1804, what will it be? PLRX. 10 seconds. No fear, no hesitation. Waiting to see what we get. Here we go. Nice. Can we see a dip? Can we see a dip? Can we see a dip? Not quite ripping after holding 19. Will it hold here? 69.50. High of the current candle. 13. So over 13 if it's strong. Seems like it wants to go. Well, I'll wait. Has to break 13 with that volume. We could also see dips down at $18. If it pulls back enough, dips down at 18, I like. With this same big size. Looking to take on risk today. Looking to take on some risk. We're seeing 18.30 though, so it's not coming down to that whole dollar level. Over 19.13, I definitely like it, but I would prefer that dip entry. Low of the current candle. Let's see, there's 31. It's going to be hard to get fills because of how fast it's moving though, so let's see. Oh, not quite. Not quite, not quite. We're seeing 10 on the bids though. That might have been the low there. High of the current candle is 80. I'm long at 5, tight backstop. Well, we see the bounce. Seems like it's holding. Fucking hell. Wow. It seems like it's holding. It didn't flush down. So I feel like I might be out a little too soon. Yeah. Looks pretty good here. So, 1 minute candle to make the knee. I mean, look at this thing go. Wow. Can we see that break of 80? It has range to it though. It has some range to it, but over 1880 for that first 1 minute candle here. Where's the rip? A little tricky there, a little tricky, but we want to see it over 1913 make the breakout. We rejected at 20. My P&L will probably be all over the place because with this type of size on this thing, you know, but I want all the smoke, so let's see what we can do. Can we get back over 1920? That freaking dip, man. I sold because I was thinking we could see the flush below the whole dollar, so I kind of got out at like 95, but it's a perfect dip trade, so I'm out a little too soon. You know, if we do hold the whole dollar there, I would try to hold up to like 1850, 1860 or more. Maybe back over 19. I think I'd try for back over 19 right here. 50. I don't know how I feel if it comes back down to 1805 again. I don't think I'd take it. I gotta make sure that I get a good winning trade before I have any like losing trades, because I'm not really green here, right? This is still like me being flat on the day, even being up, you know, $200-300. It's kind of not, you know, where we need to be. So my next couple of trades needs to be good trades to put myself in a position for success here. It seems like we're holding the $half for the time being. Okay. More buyers, more buyers. It has to break and hold 19. I hope it has more left in the tank, man. I hope this could go to 25. If it can get to 25, I think we'll have a very special day here. False breakout. Seems like I had a decent fill, but it's a false breakout. It has to hold 19. It has to. Where are those bulls? Good. $20. Hold on. Well, halt level's extended, which is good. It highs at 48. I hope my fills are good. We'll take a loss there. Not quite. 48. Can we see 48? 2048. Dips maybe at 50, but I don't feel comfortable taking this size on the dips though. It's one of those things where I don't know, maybe at 50 though, maybe. Is it gonna hold? Let's throw out an order. Well, you see that? Yeah, yep, and that'll be like a 50-cent loss. Jeez. 19 though does look a little bit better, so let's see how it does right here. If it's not gonna fail, it should hold right here. I'll take the long with about a 25-cent stop right here for 75. 500 shares. What's it gonna be? We need buyers. We need buyers. You see that loss just now, though? That's why the dips are like so tricky with size. Like, if that was 1,500 shares, $800 loss. I think it's gonna bounce. So I got 500 shares, 97. Looking to hold up to 35, 40, 50. Can we see the bounce? Where are those bulls? Where are those bulls? KB, are you in the building? I'll take it off right there. That's a much better trade than I expected. How well are we holding here? Watching. Over 77. This is what we've been waiting for our entire life. Now over 20. More buyers, more buyers. There's hidden seller 20. It has to break and hold 20 for me to get back in it. I could probably take more size too, but if we get caught, it's not going to look good. Can we break and hold 20? Come on, there's a hidden seller there. Can we break? We need those bulls to step it up with big sizing here. Good. Can we hold? 15. What's it going to be? Back in, looking to hold it here. Over 50. Shit. I didn't get back in. Crap. It's halted up. You know what? I thought, well, the reason why I didn't buy there, I thought it would have broke to like 80, dip, and then rip. Man, I should have just got long. We're up 2,300, which is good, but we could have been doing better, especially since we missed the first few candles. I'm thinking about sizing down because this is the second halt. Fucking hell. Jeez, man. I need a second to breathe. It's kind of just non-stop. I'm buying, I don't even know my entry. I'm just buying when I see green on the tape and we're coming up to those key high of day levels and key 1 minute candle breakouts. Just buying and knowing that I should be green because the stock is going up. Trying to buy quick to make sure I don't get high fills. It's getting expensive, which means the risk is going to get more. We broke over that level of 1950, which the gap fill, I think, what was it, 1907? 1904. I don't know. I think I have to size down. I think it's the smart thing to do. So I'll drop to 700. We could start to see resistance here. Some people will look at the high of this candle at 24, and maybe they'll say 24 should be resistance. But I think it might start to have trouble. Man, that break of 50, man. That right there is just a simple decision making in my head. Why, for the reason why I'm not long. You know, if I think it'll just go to 21 straight, I would buy it. But I thought we would have seen 80 drop back to 50, maybe like 90 drop back to 50, and then go. It just rips. That could have been, you know, a $1,500 trade. I mean, it's crazy. But this is like the signs of a hot market, you know, back when we have GameStop and all those stocks like that. You know, can we see an extra $5 a share from the open, you know, to now, right? And we've had that so far from 15 up to 21. So resumption time is at 52:26. 52:26. So we got about 2 minutes to go. I hope you guys are doing well on it. It's not easy, of course. It's very high risk. It's extremely high risk. I did take a 50 cents loss somewhere in there. We've waited our entire life for this, man. We're not gonna back down. And I said it on that first resumption. I'm open to taking the loss. If I was to be down 1,500 today, then it would have been a great day still. We would have just had to come back again tomorrow, because we've been doing it for so long. It's a matter of just now doing it with more share size, you know? So in the next 2 minutes with 700 shares, can we add to this? If I take a 50-cent loss, I'm looking at a $350 decline, which is not terrible, but I think we can still see some good gains with 700 shares. But I think the risk will be higher here. We got to be very careful. Manage risk to the best of your abilities, guys. Trade smart, trade the setups. Be careful out there. These stocks like this are unforgiving, especially when they decide to start flushing. 52.26. No fear, no hesitation. This is the second halt, so I still like it, but I think the risk will be higher, so I'm reducing size. No fear, no hesitation, waiting here. $26 seconds and counting, assuming it's a 5-minute halt. 26 seconds and counting. 21.41. It might just go to 24. It might, but I can't know for sure, so I gotta be careful here. We're halted at 21.41. 6 seconds to the resumption. Here we go. Opens lower. 21.41 for the long. Over 21. It did not hold up. It did not hold, but I think I got a decent fill in there. It's not holding. It might be coming down. 19.04 for the dips though. High of days at 21.50. It's starting to get a little top heavy. Maybe it needs the 1 minute pullback. It's possible. Maybe we need the 1 minute pullback. High of the last candle we had 50. I'm not taking this $50 trade again. I'm sorry, just not gonna do it. It is bouncing though. There's 40 cents. Okay. 21.20, but it's not holding above 21. It has to hold above 21 here. $19.04 for the dips. I gotta do a better job holding this one. My stop was way too tight on the last one. I mean, and that would have been like a 70-cent trade or more, you know? So it's like we did well to this point, and we can already see that we could have done better. But not to get all the way there, so still waiting, still watching. I think we should see the 5-minute pullback, and once again, 19.04 I like. 19.10, and this time I'll have about a 30-cent stop to try and give it some wiggle room. So like my stop will be like 18.80 if I'm in at like 19.10, maybe even 18.70, as long as it doesn't flush down and I lose a full dollar a share. If I lose 50 cents, it's not a problem. We'll take the $400 loss. It's a lot to lose on one trade, but you know, if it goes up, we look at 50 cents or more, a dollar a share or more. in the trade, especially with how fast it's moving. Previous high of the day was at 48, so it might even find support down here, in this range, but I don't know. So waiting patiently, there's 73. Will we come down to 19? Come on. Let's see the selling pressure. If it flushes to 19 here, even better. This has to be a good trade for me. I'm not going to botch it this time. Having a cushion definitely helps because, when you're flat on the day with 1,500 shares, trying to take that dip, in the back of your mind is that fear of if it flushes down, that alone could be the day for me. So maybe I should have reduced size, but still waiting here patiently. We'll see. This is the first 5-minute pullback. If it doesn't come down as low as 19, I'll have to wait for it to start curling back up, and once we get the 5-minute candles to make the new high, that's where I could start to take scalps. Time 56, so we got 4 minutes to the new 5-minute candle, and we're seeing a bottoming wick already. So we had lows of 1950. Was that as low as we were going to go? So I'm not going to get my entry at 19, at least not for now. So watching to see what the scalps are talking about over 21. It looks interesting. We got a big seller, 85, 10,000 shares. Oh yeah. Are they going short? I don't think so though. Long. I hope I got that fill. It is holding. My. It's holding again. No, I'm sizing back up, man. 78 for the highs. Watching 70 closely here. It's not ripping. 27. Still holding. Gotta be careful with this thing, man. 2020, 2220 rather. What's it gonna be? You know what? It's getting a little top. It seems like it might be getting a little top heavy. I don't want to get caught in that flush if it happens. High of days at 56. I want to watch for the next eruption, but not quite seeing it. 2140 for dips. 2140 for dips. 2140. Fill me. Oh, man. No fill. No fill. Alright, I'll take it. 42. Yeah, that'll be a bigger loss. It doesn't seem like we're getting the bounce there. Yeah. Previous high of day was at 41. It's pulling back to 90, 80. So I definitely didn't stand a chance there. Disappointing, but okay. If I had gotten filled, I don't think I would have sold that position. Well, but I would have been out flat though, I think. So I definitely did mess up the trade a little bit. Tried to buy the bids at like 35. We had to bounce to 60. Maybe I would have took profits. Who knows? So that'll be a losing trade though, where we could have had a winning trade. It's all right. We don't want too many of those though, because you know we get ourselves into trouble. Every trade will be carrying weight. Seems like the guys in the Discord are doing all right. Alright, the green up 1K. Caius up 1,200. We might get some pretty big P&Ls today. Over 22.23. It bounced at 85, so I might have messed up on my levels there. I don't know. 48. 18, well, 2020, 2015, 2041, 2150. I'll wait for the first 5-minute candle to make the new high. I am red on no, on TBLT I'm red 129. $20, 2015. I'm trying to see what will make sense for dips, but let me size down to 500 shares here as well. 2015, I'd watch. $20 if it does come down here. $20.48. Between 2015 and 2048, although that's a lot of range for a trade. That's a lot of range to be in. You know, do I want to risk 50 cents here? You know what? We have a cushion. We could go for it. But I want to get it on the lower side, though. So can we see like 2020, 2025 for the entry? 2030 even I take with 500 shares. And I'll give it like a 50-cent stop. And, you know, hopefully we can curl back up $1 or $2 a share. So that's where I think the dip should be. But it's bouncing a bit here already, so I'll be patient. I'll wait. We had a low of 63. I needed between 2015 and 2048, preferably on the lower side of that range. By the way, if anybody, I'm not watching the YouTube stream right now, so I might be missing comments, but I'll get caught up later on. There is a ABCD here at 21.75. If it curls back up, 5-minute candle to make the new highs at 21.98, basically 22. So over 22, I like with size if it curls back up. Maybe I push to 2,500 shares. But maybe that might be, oh, you see, well, I don't want to overdo it. So we do that, we get a loss of 50 cents. It's not going to look good. We got to still try to manage the risk. Gotta manage the risk on this type of stock, man. $21.75. So I like $21.75 for longs, or on the downside, anything below $20.48. There is 40 seconds left in this 5-minute candle. I want to see it close green. Can this 5-minute candle close green here? Come on, hang in there. 20 seconds. Hold up for 20 more seconds. It does matter if it closes green or red, right? 10 seconds. Can we close green? Looks like it will. So I'm watching 75 if it comes up here at high volume. So it's going to close. What is it going to be, up or down? Are we going to see the pullback or the move up? I haven't seen any big bids on this thing yet either. Like, let's say 50,000 share buyers, 100,000 share buyers. We haven't really seen that. I saw 10,000 shares a few times, but so a lot of people might be using hidden orders. So we do have to watch out. We did see one big hidden seller earlier. So far we're coming down right here. So once again, between 2015 and 2048, preferably on the lower side. I can't believe none of my dip trades worked to this point. So, you know, I'm hoping this one here can cover for the damages from earlier. This stock though is a scalper's dream, man. Watching it. No fill, man. Throwing all the orders on the bids is a waste of time here. Try to get 28. Come on. Try it again. And I gotta hope it dips down again. See, now that low of 28 is in there. It's like I don't want to take it at 40. We gotta stick to the plan though. I said anything below 48. And it would have been a nice fill though. Can we get another red flush and then bounce? Alright, I'll throw out the order 39. I still want to buy on the bids though because there's a big spread at times here. Still no fill. Are you kidding? There we go. So I'm in at 30. My stop will be 80 here. I want to see this thing hold up and bounce. It's actually going to come all the way down. See, you know, being patient is so key. I'm going to try and hold this position for at least 10 minutes. 50-cent stop. Risking 250 bucks, which we can afford to do, being that we're up. It might be a great trade here. It might be a great trade. But I got to be very, very patient. Hopefully we don't get stopped out. That entry at 15 would have been better though. 20 would have been better, but it's all good. We'll stay the course. Based off of my calculations, it should bounce right here without dropping all the way down to 1980 to stop me out. So I'm going to sit back, relax, hands off the keyboard, and just, you know, watch this thing do its thing. And I want to see the 5-minute candle make the new high at 21.34. If this plays out well, there's a chance I could be up $2 a share in this trade. So in the next 5-10 minutes, what will it be? Will I have gotten stopped out of the trade, or will I be up and looking good? Right? So here's 17 on the bids. See, this is a better area to be long, right? This is not the type of trade I want to be adding though. So there's not going to be any adding here because there's still a lot of risk if it flushes down hard. Gotta be patient, man. Gotta be patient for the entry. Patient for the entry. and we can get the lower trades always. I gotta beat that into my brain over these next couple of weeks, man. But I'm in a good place though, so let's keep watching it. Let's keep waiting. We do have the new 5-minute candle here, so this is where I would want to see us starting to curl back up over 1670. So this will be a good area to tell if we're going to be on the backside or if the move is going to keep going back up for a test of high of day. I do like the ad for the first 5-minute candle to make the new high, maybe with 250 shares. So watching here. Buyers coming in at 940 there, good sign. So over 2134, I like the ad for 250 shares. Lots of buyers coming in there. A wall of 9,000 shares. It's a good sign. I gotta execute on this trade here, man, because this trade will be for all the losing trades that I've ever had. Not being disciplined enough to hold the trade long enough to get in at the right areas. This trade means a lot to me. If it stops me out, no problem. But if it goes up, it'll mean a lot. This has the chance to be the best trade of the day if it plays out properly. This could be a good step in the right direction for me and trades at the lows moving forward. So PLRX, what's it gonna be here, right? What will it be? Those shares at 40 are getting filled. Lots of buyers there, though. So here we go. 2135 is where I want to add. Alright. We got to break and hold above 21. Good volume there. This is where we should start to curl. Can we start to hold above 2050? Can we hold? Alright, I'll take the ad. It didn't quite break though. It didn't quite break. What's it gonna be? We need more buyers. Come on. Come on, where are those bulls? Yeah. See, now my average is going to be higher into the trade. Yeah. Yep. I wanted the immediate 5-minute breakout there. If it breaks below 50, I stop out of this last position. So I've unwinded most of the trade there. Steve is gonna let me hear it for this one. I know, but let's see if it does hold 50. If not, I take the loss here with the 250 shares added at 12. I could have done a better job reading it. All right, I'll stop out there at 60. But overall, decent trade. Right, we're in at 2030, and we're unwinding the trade up there around 75, and so not quite smokes, but no cigar. It double topped for the ad. What we want to see is the immediate breakout, right? As soon as we come right here, we want to rip right through. So there's a chance this does come back down to the lows and test again, or it can fail if it comes back down, but it depends. We'll have to wait and see. But the trick there though is that once we add, and I added a decent amount of the first position, which is 50%. Our good guy Haku said no more than 20%, so that's me being aggressive there. When you add more than 20%, your cost basis jumps high. Smokes, but no cigar. So we'll take that. That's a good trade, though. I like it. I like it. I like it. It could have easily had broken over 30 there, and it would have been, you know, up $1 a share, 750 shares. To the depths. What's it gonna be? It's either doing an ABCD or to the depths. There's a low break of the lows, so it might be to the depths. So I think we might be on the backside. Short sellers might be getting in, which if that's the case, it's been a great day. It's been a great session. We did not do as well as we could have done because the first 2 minutes is like I felt like I got jumped. The first 2 minutes, you know, I kind of had that interruption right at the open, and then after that, we came in. I'm worried about thinkorswim with the lag, so I'm not aggressive in that first minute. I missed the first 1 minute candle to make the new high. You know what is so funny? For those of you who watched the Q&A yesterday, the Q&A/study session, when we spoke about SRG, it's the same. This one is more aggressive. It's moving faster, but it's the same exact setups to start the day. On the 1 minute, the 1 minute candle makes the new high for the gap and go, and it absolutely rips. SRG had the same exact thing. So this is why studying is, of course, important now. We have to come back, study the chartings, because the history is repeating itself day over day. So that was good, but we didn't get to capitalize right there. And then we did miss that one trade at 50. I don't know if it was 17.50, 18.50. That would have been $1 a share winner, but I didn't go long. But all in all, it's a great day. We're up 3,200 on 39,000 shares. So absolutely impressive. I do not intend on giving any of it back. So I want to ease down, size down, take it slow. I'm not done though. I think there might be something else later on today. So I'll stick around a little bit and, you know, to 11 o'clock. And if I do come back for late morning or let's say the afternoon, I'll be using smaller size to try and build a cushion. Build more of a cushion to then risk off of that. So let's see what you guys are seeing in the stream. Now that it looks like the trading has calmed down a bit. And I can't be upset with this trade. Whenever this trade doesn't work, it's because the stock is failing. But, you know, Steve tells me to try and sell this position flat as opposed to for a, you know, a losing. And I got to get better to do that. It's like I'm still thinking there's a chance it works even if it dips down to like 2080, 2090. So I'm not willing to sell it yet. But in actuality, it's like the trade should really go because I would be watching this area if I'm not long already for scalps. And I got to remember it's breakout or bailout should be the mindset if I'm adding high like that, because I should treat that trade really as a scalp trade despite having the lower average, you know. That way I can be in, and if it's not going outright break even, selling the entire position for a gain on the first two, and then for a flat trade on the third one, as opposed to a loss on the third one, which, you know, shouldn't happen. So there's room for improvement even now, right? It just seems like it never stops, and I was gonna say this at one point. It didn't feel like I could have I got everything out of the stock. You know, we'll watch Ross trade and he'll say, "Man, I'm exhausted. I did everything I possibly could." I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I did everything I could have possibly, you know, could have done. It's on the backside here, I think. Short sellers, you know, seem to have gotten involved. And maybe the short trade would have been exactly where I added. Anywhere between 21 and 21. What was I think the high was 27. So 27. No. 34. Between 21 and 21.34. If it doesn't break over 34, maybe it's a short trade for the move to the downside. But if it breaks over 34, we have a chance at high of day again. But this one was spectacular. It reminded me so much of AERC. Whenever we have stocks that are this aggressive, it's going to be one of two things. There's a 70% chance that I'm green, and there's a 30% chance I'd be red. And with the big size, you know, the green days will look like this. With the big size, the red days will look like me. You know, it'll look like $1,500 down. I already know it. I can see it in my mind, because when we take those dip trades and they don't work, or the scalps are rejected, it happens so quick. In the blink of an eye, you'll be down, you know, 70 cents, and it's a lot to be down on one candle. So this is where I'll stop rambling on. VERU is hitting scans. VERU moving up. I'm not gonna touch this thing though, but I'm gonna check out the YouTube stream, see how you guys are doing. Marcelo, man, how did you do on this one, man? How did you do, bro? Let me see what you guys are saying on the YouTube side of things. By the way, if you're a new viewer, guys, consider subscribing to the channel. Consider subscribing if you're a new viewer. Hit the thumbs up button. We have some great trading today, but only 97 likes. There's 338 people watching on. So guys, hit the thumbs up button, support the channel. You guys know I'm a free resource here in the community, providing my watch list, my high-low scanners here at Mometic. I'm you know, explaining my thought process to the trades, my analysis, so you guys get to see everything raw, right? Winning trades, losing trades. Not a lot of people want to do this type of thing, so I appreciate the support with the thumbs up. It really helps out the channel a lot. So I'll get caught up here in the comments. PLRX. Yeah, so let's see. I gotta go all the way back up because I've missed so much. Darnell, I do appreciate the moderation there, banning that that webcam nonsense. Appreciate it. Oki, thanks, man. You see, and then another thing is too, I started the day up 400 on, I think, the first trade, and I dropped down to half that. With this size on this stock, these types of stock like this, being up 400 almost means nothing. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but the expectations on this type of stock is different, man. 400 is just the cushion of like 2 scratch trades, you know? On other days, 400 is a great day, but it's the expectation when we have something do a gap and go and halt straight up. You know, AERC, PLRX, you know, stocks like INDO, ISIG from last year. I mean, there's been so many of them. The expectation here is different, and so, you know, when I start to go green over 1K is where I start to like try to be a little bit more careful. But being up a few $100s, you know, it's like, it's just one trade where I take a little too long to sell. I'm flat again. You know, it's crazy. It's really crazy. That also is an adjustment of trying to be better real time on the spot and accepting what a stock is, you know. Tomorrow we might just see something go up 20 cents alone, and a day like that I know the best I can do is like 120 in the green, 150 in the green. So we have to try to navigate, and it's a way of managing risk as well, right? To try and navigate and have the expectations be slightly different depending on what we're seeing happening and playing out in front of us. It looks like a lot of you guys are feeling anxious when I'm trading with this type of sizing on these types of stocks, and I get it. Without a doubt, it's high risk. Without a doubt, it is high risk. I'll be watching back this video a few times today, though. Logan made 215, very good stuff. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the comments are like on the anxious side, like, you know, this guy, he's a madman to be trading so aggressive. Yeah, I mean, even red to green, and red to green, you trade with bigger sizing than I do, but on the cheaper stocks. For red to green trades very similar to how we trade, you know, red to green, Marcelo, you guys will be doing it in no time too. You guys are already doing it so well on the cheaper stocks too. I mean, I'm looking at you guys sometimes on these cheaper stocks taking 10,000 shares on some of these entries, and that's what I'm trying to get to. And I think we're gonna do it, man. We're all gonna do it. The future is bright for all of us. All of us here in the community, man. We just got to keep working. There's videos I can go back to right now from a year ago, 2 years ago, where a stock like this would go up, and I would do nothing, and then try to take a trade here, and on the backside and be down 500. It happened to me It happened to me countless times, man. It's hard to even watch back those videos if I'll be honest, you know, because it's just tough. It's just tough to watch back some of my older videos. Some of them I click off halfway because of how frustrating I get looking back at stocks like this. But it's a time thing, man, and we gotta just put in the time and just keep grinding it. Peter, 1600 on the day, man. Congratulations. Dylan, I appreciate the donation. I appreciate it, man. For those of you who tuned into the live stream yesterday, the Q&A, it was a Q&A as well as a bit of a study session towards the end. I hope you guys are seeing, especially, how things can come to pass. Last night we're literally there talking, and wrong bet in the Discord, man. It's so funny. Wrong bet. We can join the other audio right now. Is he in here? Yeah, I think he's in here. Let's see. Okay, he might have left out early. Wrong bet and I were talking about how this thing could potentially go to $20, and this is at 9:10 a.m. So it's insane. But we have to put in our work over the years, take it slow, steady, and it's not an overnight success. Some of you guys in the Discord are doing some numbers out of this world. VERU is still moving here, by the way. It's making a new high. We got 1437 for VERU. There's people now who are still short in the stock, It's gonna be hard, man, because right now, it's gonna be hard. But it can be done, because what I'm thinking is when we do transfer money over to another broker, right, which is what we're going to do next. It's one of the things we're going to do next after we can master the trades at the lows. When we transfer money over to another broker and we have shares available to short at a cheap rate, the subtlety that it's so subtle to realize right here is where the entry is, right in this bubble here. You guys see I'm still trying to add for the breakout. And what's going to be hard is the adjustment to it mentally. Like, we can say it now and it sounds easy, and for some people it might be a fast transition, but for me it's like my mind takes a while to try to get stuff under control, man. You guys see in the dip trades every day I'm talking about how I sold too soon. Today we had one. I'm in there, sold too soon, It's hard, man. It's hard to try and do the opposite of what I've been training to do since the beginning of trading, which is to buy high, sell higher in fast time frames. Now I'm trying to buy low and hold longer. It's like I have to fight the urge to sell. When I see myself up 20 cents, 30 cents, that's usually a great trade, because most scalps I'm looking for just 10 cents at a time and 5 cents. So it's like adjusting to that. It's years of beating it into my brains that take 5 cents, take the 10 cents. If we get anything more, great. Now trying to adjust to continuing to do that, and also on the other side, buying low, holding for minutes at a time, and seeing myself potentially being in the trade green 30 cents, 40 cents, but not selling because there's room to the upside, another dollar a share. It's so simple but so hard for me. It's one of those things for me that's just, and going short, which is one of the next things that we have to add. It's it's gonna be the same thing all over again. It's gonna be months. And by the way, I did watch pre-market today at 8 a.m., 8:10 a.m. And man, this thing did do very impressive. Some of the guys came in at 7, and they had great trades. Chef, pre-market trader, wrong bet. These guys were up $1 a share in this thing. Between 7:30 and like 8:30. I mean, it's so impressive. So I'm gonna continue coming in pre-market with my 1 share size until I can master this area here. But we have to be disciplined and we have to be consistent because, first of all, instead of waking up at 7:30 like I do now and kind of just taking my time to come in here for 8:30, 8:50, 9 o'clock, 9:15, I have to be ready for 7 a.m. So I gotta even wake up earlier. I gotta wake up at like 6:50. I think either 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., but I think 7 a.m. might be the best bet. That way I can see more consistency through and through. So it requires a lot, and you wake up an hour early, your mind starts to be dialed in 2 hours earlier than usual. What am I going to be looking at by the time I get to 11 o'clock? Am I going to be drained? There's a lot of questions that comes up. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day is what I would be doing essentially. But they people will tell me, I can already imagine my brother right now. My brother will tell me, man, you're young, you don't work a full-time job, you gotta wake up early, even if you need to take breaks sporadically through to pace yourself. I can already imagine him now, what he would say. So, it has to be done. So in the next 6 months, can we master pre-market? We'll be here every day, and I could live stream most of it, or all of it. We could probably start the live stream earlier, and then maybe take a break, come back again, maybe like a 30-minute break or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out, or maybe we just trade through and through. Probably leave the live stream on, take a break. All right. There's different options to go about it. But all of it is to say the future is bright. I've been ranting for a long time here, so I'll shut up. Get back to the technicals. Get caught up in the comments again. Dylan, I really appreciate it, man. Dylan has been donating to the channel very frequently. Dylan, Twin, Red to Green, I really appreciate the donations you guys have been sending to the channel. How do I use the level 2 for entries? So this level 2 I'm strictly using for quotes, right? So I'm just watching it visually. I'm not sending my trades through this DAS platform. I'm still sending my trades through Thinkorswim. And it's important to say that the charting comes first, right? The charting comes first in the sense that before I go long watching at the level 2, the charting has to make sense in the area. Whether it's the gap and go, the first 1 minute candle to make the new high. Now, on a halt resumption, that's where the level 2 is a little bit more, let's say I'm relying on it more so than the charting. That's one of the specific areas. But it's price action, right? And a lot of it comes from screen time. I've been watching at halt resumptions for 4 years now, and they move in a very particular way when they resume. No matter if it goes up, if it stays sideways, or if it goes down, they move. There's consistency within the variables, right? I say this a lot. There's a level of consistency within the variables, and I recognize certain price action. Let's say the stock opens up lower. If it opens up lower and it starts to consolidate within the area where it opened, right? Let's say we open up 20 cents, 50 cents lower, but it's consolidating there. Any signs of green, I want to be long. if it curls back up to the halt level, and this is where the candlestick then comes back into play. We got halted at 1804. If it opens up lower and it comes back to 1804, I want to be in because there's a high chance we can break over 1804 and then go higher. And there's a scenario for each area if it opens up sideways, higher, or lower. And there's a lot of similarities. If it opens up higher, okay, wherever the high of day point is, can we see a dip down? And once it drops down, usually profit taking. Once the price action slows up, no one is no longer selling. That is usually the bottom, right? And in that moment, any sign of buying on the time and sales, I am long immediately. I have videos out going over this stuff in the stock related playlists. But there is a lot of risk though, and let's say I can't put a percentage behind it, but what I could say is that a lot of it depends on market sentiment, the personality of the stock, the type of stock, how aggressive. There's no way for me to put a percentage on it, so I can't say, hey, it works out 60% of the time. I can't say that. There's too many other variables to say what the percentage is, but that a lot of that comes with time, and with you as the trader recognizing what's happening in front of you. This stock was incredibly strong today, from $10 to 22. We don't really get this every single day, We're not in that hot market last year, especially. So when we have this type of thing, it's go time, and we know when this, when we have, it's like the perfect storm is a way to describe it. When these circumstances line up, we usually see those areas in the halt resumptions working out well, right? And so that's how I'll use the level 2 to determine entries. But majority of the time, the entries are coming from the charting first. The first 1 minute candle to make the new high at 1880 right here. And then once we get the new high of day levels, maybe I'll watch the level 2 to try and keep scalping the new high. Oh my goodness. John B, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. 10 years from now, we'll be reading about RT. Oh my god. I guess that would be a good compliment, but it's a good place to remind everyone of the risk, I don't even know if that's a compliment. I kind of take that back. I didn't read the entire thing. But yeah. Yeah, we definitely have to remember to put the disclaimer in the intro, because trading is risky. A lot of traders lose money. And you have to trade with small size, until you become profitable, or trade in a simulator, right? Until you find the consistency. Because there's a few people out there, they hate the simulator. They do not want to touch a simulator. And okay, if that's the case, okay, but can you trade with just one share? Because there's no reason, right? We all will have that learning curve. There's no reason for your tuition to the market to be on the higher side, right? You might as well use one share, become consistent, and then from that moment is where you can start using more size. So guys, keep in mind, trading is risky. I gotta make one of the screens that Ross has, and what I'll start doing is yeah, I'll make that today. I should have done this months ago. After the white screen with the bull and the bear and all that, I'll put that on for about 30 seconds, then I'll start the video. That way it'll also remind me to say it when I start the day, every day. It's a long road, man, but it's 10:38. It doesn't seem like anything else is moving besides VERU. That one was the only one gapping up. The other stocks didn't really do well. I'm not really happy about the loss I had. TBLT. I think I was red the last time this thing made a move. $3,000 share blocks. I could have been green, but I needed to be a little bit more dialed in that in the opening minutes, I think. There isn't something, Albert, right? There isn't something that I would say is most important. There's like a collection of things that go hand in hand, and without all of the components, you can't really have a functioning level two. You know, it's much more. There's layers to it, right? There's a lot of layers that goes into it. The screen time is the ultimate master, is what I would say. Screen time, like you have to watch it for months, years to really like understand to get that higher level of understanding. Let's say, right? There's a lot that goes into it. A collection of many things. Trading is something else, man. Like I understand, like I really understand why there's like I was a struggling trader for a long time, and I know, man. I know, man. I know. I had a lot of red days, a lot of red days. But anyhow, it's 10:40. You know, is it a good place to shut it down? I think it might be. I've been ranting for like 30 minutes now. We haven't really had that much action since the drop off. P&L on the day. We've traded. Hold on. We're up 3,130 bucks. So we're just over 3K. This might be the biggest green day, I think. But I haven't really been putting emphasis on that. I haven't been titling my YouTube videos as that because I've been trying to normalize this, you know? And I've said it before in the past that when we have these type of stocks, the green days will look different than what we've been seeing in the past. I'm a firm believer of that because right now, I'm not afraid to use big sizing. I didn't go up to 2,500 though because I thought about it at one point, but you know it's still. I mean, it's so risky, man. And there's people trading 5, 10,000 shares. I don't know how they do it. I mean, mentally, I have such a long way to go. Because on the trades at the lows, like the entry where I'm in with that 500 shares, that is an area where I could take 5, 10,000 shares, right? Because the stock is consolidating for minutes. We have time to accumulate. But to actually go ahead and do that, yeah, that's a different story. That I'm not there mentally. It might take us years to get there. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe another year, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is a good place to shut it down. I'll be back later, and I'll be trading in the Discord. So if anyone is interested, you guys can join the Discord. The Nightbot has been posting the link. I'll post a few links here. One for the scanner that I'm using. That's how I was able to find this beautiful PLRX. So you guys can check it out if you're interested in using a scanner. Code Relentless for, of course, 25% off for 6 months. And you guys can check out, I'll post the link for the Discord. The Nightbot has been posting it every 10-20 minutes. I'll post it here, and I'll post the link for my Instagram and Facebook pages, which you guys can check out. It's been a good day. For those of you going the distance, continue to trade smart, continue to trade setups. Be careful, manage risk, stay locked in. That'll do it for me. Shutting it down, I'm heading out. If I come back later today, I'll be using small size. Guys, it's been Relentless Trader. I do appreciate everyone tuning in, hitting the thumbs up button. Once again, subscribe if you are a new viewer. I'll be live again tomorrow around maybe 8:50 a.m. We'll probably have Mighty Marcelo back on. I'll try and get Red to Green to come on too. We got to get Red to Green to come on. The guys who are not going live or streaming yet, you know, I think it'll be great to have them on. You know, kind of see what they do in pre-market for their watch list, how they do their analysis. We can learn a few things from the different approach. So I'll catch you guys. Take it easy, stay safe, stay green. Once again, it's been Relentless Trader, and I am signing out.